Okay then, folks, so it's podcast time again, and we are going to discuss sort of like invention-y kind of things, aren't we? New things that we've seen in fishing, sort of like back in day, and you know, it was like brought
both
to the fore.
Tackle
and
methods, how they've just like started, innit?
I think
and changed fishing.
It
Definitely.
stemmed from a comment on Facebook or something, wasn't it? And you get it quite a bit where,
Yeah, the caster thing, wasn't it?
This is nothing new. You like such and such invented this back in 1662 or something.
Right, get you. Yeah, but it's like obviously you putting your stamp on it as well. That can be something a little bit different.
I think it's
Isn't it?
some of it. None of it's really or most of it isn't claiming to have invented anything yourself. It's
No.
like developing it, stuff, changing it, or just seeing someone else do it and being like, "That's good. We're going to help other people by putting it out there."
I was like out with a bloke a couple of weeks ago coaching and on about the feeders and obviously window feeders. Like, I remember when he used to use like air curlers and things like that and like strips of lead off my house to like make feeders. I'm like, it's nothing new, that blooming window feeder. I'm like, well, it is, because like the feeders are different then.
Everyone seems to claim that their mate invented the jigger.
Yeah.
Like everyone's got a story about the jigger.
Overshot it, everyone's done that, haven't they?
Yeah.
Don't want to go down that route. But as I said, like, you had a special finger on that one, I reckon, mate. Definitely, 100%. But you know what I mean? We don't want to go down there.
No.
I was doing it without even realise what it was. It just like
What, overshotting?
Yeah, but with a number 8, no float on, with a number 8 at Mediview back in the day. Me and Daddy Mays, my dad who sorted it out.
When you were very good at caster shallow fishing here, did you ever have any of that then?
No, it was all proper floats, but Chiantis. I always used to use Chianti floats.
Chiantis.
What is it, Chianti or Chianti?
I don't know. Des said it was Chianti. I always said Chianti.
What's a bottle of red wine then? How do you say
I don't know.
that?
I've always said
Chianti,
Chianti because I've said Chianti for the
Chianti,
floats.
I've called them.
Have you?
Chanties.
I'm going to go. I'm still
They're like the
saying Chianti.
original F1 float, aren't they? Chanties.
100%. But back in the day, remember, like you wouldn't get a match out of one of them. You had to have at least 2.
Oh yeah, they never. Yeah, there's none left in existence.
And I used to take it even further, J-lad. So I'd like get the 3BH ones you were back in the day. I'd chop the carbon stem down so it was all like flayed, and then get a stone and like file it down, and then I'd chop a bit of the bristle off as well.
Was
and
it
it'd
proper
take like
mini?
2 or 3 number 11s, and that'd be it. That's all I used to use for my shallow fishing. And I've mentioned it before, I always used to ship out like really fast under the water so it created like a bend in my pole so it wouldn't tangle. Because we only had one roller back then, rocking rollers, wasn't it?
One roller for
and then put it
14
over your
metres.
rod bag. Back in the day, Rich, like you had one roller here. Like,
And they only went that
wide.
high as well.
Yeah,
They didn't
that's
go
it,
high, they only went like
wide,
that.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like the screwy things never worked, they always got seized, and then you used to put your pole back on your rod bag.
But what they were
Or
Daiwa, weren't
stones.
they? Daiwa they were
Daiwa
the
rock
worst
and
rollers
rollers.
for being squeaky as well. Someone would always have a squeaky one, wouldn't they? And you could,
Oh, he's got another one. But yeah, I'm not saying obviously I'm laying claim to that, but blooming heck.
What are you trying to like? I've lost track
The
of what
little
you
babby
actually.
floats, I never saw anyone do that back in the day.
What? So what?
Little tiny like cut down float. I mean,
Commercial
obviously
diddy
they would have
floats.
done.
I'm
Yeah.
having that. You were very much caster shallowy commercial world to
I
start
loved it
with.
back then.
What-
Obviously, no bandit. It's always maggots over casters on.
What would people use before then? Would it just be like the standard,
I swear people didn't even fish shallow.
I don't
That's what it was,
know.
wasn't it?
whatever they had on the deck rig
Didn't
and?
really, did they?
No.
You never used to hear shallow fishing wasn't a thing. It was like up in the water thing. But first time I saw it, probably the likes of meat shallow and things like that. But that was always on bigger floats, and that was more sort of mugging. Probably not.
We haven't preempted any of this chat, have we? And shallow fishing, yeah, that is genuinely a thing on commercials that's happened in our lifetime that didn't exist. And then I never thought that would come into it.
No.
But that's the one that's evolved the most, I'm going to say, out of any method I know.
Oh, definitely.
Shallow
Where it
fishing.
was back then with like long lashes and that, and then how it's transformed over the years to like overshotting. It's just like gone on it.
Gone ridiculous.
And
hasn't it?
obviously the floats to compensate for it, jigging and
Were
all
they
that.
the SF2s or little diamond ones
SF2,
at
so
Matt?
that's obviously where it stemmed from. That
SF2.
Scones on. Remember in top with Scones
Ah,
on.
yeah.
So I got him to design me some little babby ones with the diamond bodies. They like had a leopard print on them. If you
Yeah, I remember, yeah.
like yellow and black. And then obviously went to MAP, and then they did the SF2s, and then obviously from there that's
They were
when
your shallow float.
I reckon so, mate.
I
I
hated
don't
them,
know.
they were horrible. They were too buoyant, they were horrible.
They were horrible.
They weren't then they were sound, but now you go, nah. It's how it evolves, isn't
How
it?
it evolves.
There's
yeah,
nothing
yeah.
wrong with them
No,
then.
yeah, definitely.
It all just evolves, doesn't it?
You-
Now you just go, no, put a dibber on and wiggle your rig in. I want to catch these in a minute.
Oh,
what
bloody
else
heck.
has gone on? We can't, like, feeder fishing's gone a joke, can it?
Yeah.
Does Mr. Finley get the credit for that?
What methods? and
Yeah.
Pellet feeders and.
I remember Ehrenbutt when he used to do pole method, like long bit of line on his pole.
Yeah.
I remember
Andy
him doing
Finley's the
that.
mad inventor of fishing, isn't he?
Oh, he's amazing.
but all like so
the
clever.
product meetings we have, he's got like lists and lists and lists. Like,
Does he?
come out here and I'll show you. And like he's got loads, all sorts on his box and everything.
I'm sure he's accredited with flat method feeders. I'm sure it's Andy that.
So obviously
that
we were out in the area when it was like the spiky ones, when it was like the
M-stat feeders.
Is that what they were called?
Yeah,
They
rod
used to mould-
snappers.
Oh, they were horrendous.
Was, wasn't it?
Honestly, it's like an orange like that, Rich.
Who else? Someone did some.
The Cobra feeders.
No, before them though.
before them?
I'm sure it was Rooney, Alex Bones, and somewhat. They used to have these weird moulded. They were like a resin. They were elasticated resin with some bars on. They were a flat method feeder.
Oh right, okay. I don't remember them.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
I'm sure they were.
Wasn't it
early
under
days of method
Coram,
feeder
like the
fishing.
clear see-through plasticky ones?
Yeah, they had that tiny single piece of elastic through, didn't they?
Yeah,
That always
similar
just-
to that. It was like the step before that. I'm sure Rooney and Alex Bones or something. I'm sure there was someone else as well. I can't remember. But they were very much the flat method gang that
Yeah.
brought it into it.
And
What-
Ringer, obviously. Yeah.
Was it banjo first? Was that like where?
No. Banjo was later.
So it's flat method banjo, and
Banjo
then
was like the
hybrid.
first
feeder.
step towards hybrid
Pellet
feeders.
feeder after method as well. Pellet feeder.
Yeah, pellet feeders just. I don't know when they popped up. They weren't a big wow though, were they?
No.
Method feeders were a minute.
They were for a bit though, like saying obviously the fish can only come round one way to get your bait, weren't they? But fact
Yeah.
is that you just like pop out and then
They've
your
took
bait there anyway.
feeder fishing to the next level, haven't they?
Oh yeah.
Like
100%.
wow, without them, you'd catch nothing on a feeder these days.
No, definitely not.
Or it wouldn't be anywhere near as efficient. What else has gone on?
Waggler inventions, obviously, you know, certainly pellet waggler and things like that, that's just
Oh.
evolved and just gone nuts, and it still is. I mean, now you think you've got something sorted, folks, and then he's changing it again. I'm like, what is going on?
Not just me, is it? But that's, I think a lot of it's come about now. It's more subtle now, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's no big game-changing product comes out anymore.
Do you know what, J-Lad? I'm going to say, like, how fish go round in cycles. I'm going to use yesterday, for example.
Well, like they go clockwise round arena.
No, they go anti-clockwise.
How do they?
No, like,
No,
so,
they don't.
like,
Come on.
3 or 4 year cycles or something like that, they forget what's happened. So yesterday, in fact, last year, the only way I could catch shallow was by tapping the water, lifting it, tapping it. Yesterday, on like this year, you don't get a bite on it. That'll last another 2 years. It's like what we said before about Des with his slop. You know, he did that 4 or 5 years ago. It was amazing. Then you don't get a bite on it. And yesterday, it's like the fish going nuts on it, not catching anything else. It's mad how things like that
Do you think-
evolve as
do you
well,
think-
isn't it?
I don't believe it
Do you not?
cycles.
Do you not?
I
Do you
think it's every day's different.
Or is it angler-based cycles? Because
Maybe. I know what you're going to go down the route of now.
because it's a trend. But I saw yesterday
People
I was
forget, you mean, or?
Yeah, because one person leads or a couple of people lead, everyone jumps on it, and if everyone's fishing hard pellets in 3 foot, that's what the majority of fish are going to get
That's
caught
going to
on.
win anyway because everyone's doing it.
Because just the numbers work out. But from what you're saying as well, it does. I was saying it yesterday. Like if you went to the same takeaway and like 3 or 4 times you was ill,
You'd have heard my response.
you'd like stop going to it for a bit, and then
no, you want to try again just to make sure.
Yeah, I really like that. I'll just try it one more time.
but you go a couple of times, then you'd like stop going and be like, this is shit.
Yeah, as soon
and
as
then
the salmonella
a
kicks
year or
in.
2 down the line, you forget and be like, oh, why
Oh,
have I
you
not
do?
done that?
I used to
You
like
do?
that.
You do that,
I used
don't
to
you?
like that. I'm going to go back there again.
And then
Just
you
try that
remember.
restaurant, see if it's any different.
Yeah.
No, I've got the shits again.
Yeah, and that's just your pace shallow or slop shallow that like,
Yeah.
I'm not eating that cloud because I get hurt.
See, because there's so many methods out there and different variations of fishing, you could generally forget, couldn't you? And you do, and then like, actually, this used to work, and go try that again. But you don't because no one else is doing
How many
it.
things have you just stopped for no reason? Like it was working and then you just get sidetracked by something else.
Yeah. Different venue makes you do different things.
And then
Yeah.
that's suddenly how like you fish down the edge or you do this, you do that.
Yeah.
And-
You have your confident ways of doing things. I think fishing's like that now.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's got their
There's a
own
good,
personal way of doing it.
most venues you go to, there's a good mix of methods going on these days.
Yeah,
In there. It's not as one way as it used to be back in day.
no. Big pot fixes everything. No,
No, but
definitely
it
not.
used to be like everyone had fished meat short at a venue or everyone had fished
Yeah.
worms at a... Now there is a lot more people have gone, no, I'll do it my way.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
suppose,
seasonal.
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
you get certain people that'll just fully commit to like paste
Yeah,
or
there's
shallow.
paste anglers
or-
that just fish paste anglers, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah.
or caster blasters, or there's
Yeah.
people do it, isn't it? That's their way because they've got confidence. They do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another one I've just thought of. Daddy May back in the day used to get his hook, the normal straight hooks before even the curly and bendy ones, and he used to actually get some pliers on them and twist them round, bend them.
Kick them off a little
Yeah.
bit.
I mean, that was another one as
That
well.
used to be a like big carpy thing.
Oh,
They
was
used,
it? Oh, right, okay. I didn't
Like
even know
they
that.
banned them because
Actually.
they used to get caught up in nets and stuff. But like actually bending It was old fly hooks. It might have been Kamazan B175s or something like that, long shank ones.
Right, okay.
And they just bend it so it was like a 45-degree angle. So that was like before, I think that was before shrink tubing and stuff like that they were using.
Right. Okay.
Just to get that same sort of effect of it being kicked over. Might have even before they were using like knotless knots to get that same effect.
Yeah, to curl it in just to get him to hook himself.
Yeah. So it was the same sort of thinking, but just a bit more agricultural.
Yeah. Hooks haven't changed a lot really, have they? Like in our world.
That QM's probably the...
QM's changed things a lot for method feeder fishing.
Are you
It took us a long time
What
to
about
understand
the coated
them.
though? Coated as well.
But-
I was always massive for like silver hooks, but I wouldn't go near the silver hook now.
I'm going to... I like coatings, but I don't like how they make hook over blunt.
Oh, for goodness sake, you've gone back to 911.
Well, I use all sorts,
Do you?
but yeah, I wouldn't be bothered anymore
No.
about shiny hook, and I was like, "Grr," but now I'm
Just one of them. Just
I think
don't-
that's suiting the situation, isn't it?
yeah.
You kind of match fishing's to get an ultimately sharp hook, like they've done it in carp fishing where you go too far the other way, make it that sharp that literally after one fish it's spurred over. But
Yeah.
so it's for that situation where you're fishing for one fish a year,
Yeah.
it's worth doing and worth sacrificing that strength for. But for match fishing where you're catching 300 pound of carp,
Yeah.
it's pointless.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's finding that
I
balance.
thought of another one as well, another like one back in the day, didn't really take off. Doubled elastics, remember when that first started off?
Yeah.
I
That's only
remember
because
being
lack
next
of
to
options,
Alan.
though.
Alan at Lindome.
Alan said to me he's going to chin you next time he sees you.
No, he was dead
He
nice.
saw me at Lindome last week. Said, "Your mate,
No.
I'm getting him next time."
He
I
was
see
so
him."
nice to me on Saturday. He said, "You're going to draw one. You're going to draw 149 today," and he did. But no, I remember drawing next to him on bonsai before it had all been done like years ago, and he smashed me to bits on like, and he was had the double fives through, and he like proper like annihilated me. I'm like, "What's that you using, Alan?"
What was it meant to do?
I don't. It was just sort of like obviously a bit more stretch.
Before hollow elastics existed,
Before
wasn't
hollow
it?
elastics existed.
It's the only way of getting heavy grades, but with
You should
niceness.
just double up. It's like double threes and
So
fours
did it
and
make it
fives.
harsher or soft? Like
No,
But
softer.
nice, but like it's similar to like what slick is, I reckon. Soft,
Yeah.
but then it'll like look up dead quick, won't it?
Kicks in a bit quicker, doesn't it?
Well, no,
it's like-
Sean and Aid had a spell of using it at tunnel in the winter, didn't
Yeah,
they?
we
Like,
all did. We all used
Yeah.
to use
Yeah.
double fours and double fives. Why? Don't know.
I don't know, because it always used to break like dead easy, didn't it? If
I
you
think
like,
you still use it on the canal. Dave Brown loves double six on the canal for his positive rigs.
does he really?
Yeah. But you can imagine it being all right there because it's not having its arse kicked.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What does it do? Does it behave,
It's
like
nice
a
and
12,
soft, but then
Soft
kicks in
and
a
then
lot
kicks
quicker.
in 'cause it's
but
solid.
still like soft like a 6
yeah.
and then,
It's just a bit pokier,
yeah.
but it kicks in quick. But then if you were to use a 12, it's like, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
It's weird, but it's not durable. They're horrendous.
No, like especially when puller kits had just come out, you like give it a few pulls and
Oh,
like,
you just have elastic
literally
curled
have
everywhere.
yeah.
One
Not-
one strand just snaps.
one
and you-
strand.
Yeah, I've had that
longer than the
happen.
other, wouldn't it?
I've had one snapping. Yeah. Regularly had one snapping.
Yeah, it wouldn't last at all.
What do we do here?
Oh,
Yeah,
you should. Do you know what else has massively changed in fishing?
Go on.
Pole pots. What a difference they've made.
Yeah, from like kinder pot and like pepper pots, wasn't it? The shot tub pots.
We
and
spoke
all
about
that.
this before. Do you remember the discs? What was it? Semo Joker disc. Who come up
Yes,
with that?
Semo
That
Joker
you have a
with the Pacific Avenue
flat disc
box.
to try and get your bait out there.
It was them,
What
wasn't
you
it?
trying to whiz out?
Them.
No, it was literally a flat disc.
Oh yeah, the
It was-
Joker disc.
It was
yeah.
perfectly flat and it had two wires that wrapped around
Just
your
like,
phone.
get your Joker on there and try and get it out there.
Just that's like Krypton Factor, innit? You've got your rock and roller going on behind you. You've got a triple ship.
Do you remember the-
Joker at 14 metres?
The watercraft
on a flat.
boxes with like the little tiny, they had like 6 drawers, little compartments like that. You used to have a little bait weighter tray just for the Joker one. You don't remember that?
Really? No.
Oh, like a little tiny babby tray like this, just for your Joker. But yeah, that's the pots that I mean, Rich. That's what we used to use.
Harry
on Pole.
Billing started then.
Harry Billing, yeah, and then it was Kinder pots, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like actual Kinder Surprise pots.
Yeah.
And then obviously
It
fruit
started
shoot
then.
pots. And
Like Kieran and that gang you give.
I
might
reckon
give.
so. And Pimmy and Chappie and that with meat cock and all that,
Ooh,
wasn't
yeah.
it? I reckon they
I
started
feel like
that.
it was a Morelands thing, maybe Kinder pots.
That's the first time I ever saw shallow fishing at Morelands, Kieran and Grant. That's the first time
Vibrating.
I ever saw that.
Was
Got
it?
meat cock, yeah. First time I ever saw
Catching
it.
shallow.
Yeah, but yeah, it's mad how it's evolved, and now obviously now we're putting holes in it and this, that, and the other, and
Yeah.
Big
little
cock.
sprinkle pots and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's going to sound good on.
On a
Podcast forming, doesn't it?
There's a big cockerel been stalking us all day. I've just had him a race.
He won, J lad.
He gave up. So
We
I'm claiming
literally
the moral
could have started
victory.
this half an hour ago, but we had to wait for you to catch your breath.
I
mate,
did have
didn't
to have
we?
a lie down. I was very, very tired after chasing the cockerel.
What are
go
you
on.
claiming invention to or being
Nothing, I'm-
involved in?
Dobbing bread
Oh yeah, I like that.
on commercials.
100%.
Yeah.
Very, very much. We
Proper.
took that to proper.
Next
What was that,
level,
Heronbrook back in the day? Was
A
it?
bit, yeah. Yeah, lads had fished with bread, but not understanding what they were doing.
Was it always feeding and stuff
Well,
with
because
it?
we were
or-
always coming, they used to feed licky bread and then dob bread over the top and think it made a difference. Just put bread on it. But I did it. I remember the first ever time catching on bread, dobbing bread on, it was the bend on Medder, standard Jamie Peg. And I was feeding liquidised bread and then dobbing over the top, thinking it was a thing.
What, all over the place, just like randomly dob a bit there?
No,
and-
one spot, and
Yeah.
I fed like bread and dobbed over the top. Because we'd come from the
Yeah.
canal world
Yeah,
thinking
yeah, definitely.
you never needed to feed any bread, you just needed to go in with your bread, and it was solid. Like when dobbing bread first came about, oh my God, it was a joke. Like beyond the joke.
Okay, you've found that it's not worked as well the last.
Yeah, they've learned, they don't eat it anymore.
We were on about this the other day. It's same with method, innit? You don't catch as many as you used to on method.
Well, no,
mudline,
I'm
you
not
don't
having-
catch as many on
'cause-
mudline.
How can a lot? It's still
It's new fish.
It's
you
the
do,
same
you-
on-
you
yeah,
still
new
catch
fish.
them, you just expectations are bigger these days. Back in the day, you catch £70, you're the
And
boss
you'd be
days
like,
fishing.
that's amazing. You'd be talking about I still
Yeah.
talk about catching £50 for, yeah.
But it used to be,
It
didn't
is,
it?
yeah, back in the day.
£70 was like, yeah.
Oh,
If you
yeah.
come here and you could win a match £70 here,
Oh, easy.
back in day.
Yeah, yeah,
now you'd
easy.
be like, might not weigh in.
Yeah,
We're spoilt now. That's a problem with fishing.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
are spoilt with how many fish.
yeah, yeah. There's
And
a
it
lot
has
of
spoilt it a bit because it's made good pegs better than they ever were.
Mm.
Surprises don't happen as much anymore, do they?
No.
Because the good pegs are that good these days because there's that many fish. And we've got very good at catching them,
fishing. Yeah,
hasn't it?
yeah.
Fishing's got so much more efficient and easier.
It evolves, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's got so much better.
What about you
Yeah.
from like anything like carpy background world, anything like that back in
No.
the day, Rich? Or
I think I'm the wrong era for actually inventing
Yeah, you
stuff.
missed it.
Like the carp fishing, match fishing, you've been since the start commercial. That's where loads of stuff has changed.
yeah,
and,
yeah.
Like, yeah, I was the wrong end of carp fishing where all the inventions and fun stuff had happened, and it was becoming more
Evolving,
commercial.
and that's
Yeah,
it.
you get ready rigs and stuff off the shelf, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like, yeah, no, you'd lost all the big wow moments, hadn't you?
Yeah.
But,
We've had lots of wow moments. Hollow elastic. That was one for match fishing as well. I remember the first seeing hydro elastic.
Oh, yeah.
That was the first ever hollow, wasn't it? Hydro.
Mark Harris gave me some at Carmill Dam years
Did
before
he?
like commercials were really starting. Yeah.
Did you know what it's from?
No? Isn't it veins or
Yeah,
something?
artificial veins is what it was originally produced for.
Yeah.
Like when you have operations and get bits of veins replaced, that's
Hollow
what it's from.
latex.
And they just got in different sizes, and it's like, oh, that'll do for fishing.
Yeah, they put liquid in it to make it...
Still proper going strong. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember that.
It is, it's still the only one that's left really from the...
Yeah, from back in the day, like
Well, not so
vestiges.
much left, but it was the original one. It was the original, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Hollow elastic.
Zim's not out anymore, is it? Remember
Well, Zim was solid anyway. That was never hollow.
No, but I mean, it's not the brand's not out there anymore, is it?
Yeah. And now
Um,
hybrid elastics have
Hybrid
nearly
taken
wiped
over.
hollows out.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
I think that's cost more than anything. You're just weird though. You'll come onto it eventually.
No, I don't think it's better. I've,
I think it's as good and cheaper, and that's what fixes it.
it's very different, like very different. And but I've noticed you sort of play fish differently than you follow them out quite a lot more with it.
Do
I
I?
think because since I've used it and thought, yeah, it's quite harsh. You can't just. You have
Top
to be
kit it
prepared to
and
give
clean
them
up.
sections, yeah. Whereas Holly, you used to be able to shit back and almost let them do what they wanted and know it'd.
It was stretchy
Look
enough
after
for them to
itself.
hit the far bank if they needed to.
Yeah.
Way
I'm
off.
having some water. A bottle had fell over. I was just going down. Just might-
Puller kits is another one obviously that's evolved, isn't it? I remember
First
like,
puller kit.
first time I ever saw it at Whiteacres was
Stevie Gardner.
it was a lad with Milo, one Stevie Gardner. I can't remember his blooming name. He fishes the 2 day at Woodlands that day. I can't remember his blooming name. But basically, like he had it stored on a bung with a little tiny bit coming out, so he could just grab it, and then he'd actually grab his bung out and just wrap the elastic round his hand.
Oh, so it
And
wasn't
that
a
way.
puller kit then?
No,
it
and then
was just a
obviously
bit of
that's
bung.
when it was Preston.
Milo had the first one.
Was it Milo? Was it?
Yeah.
I thought it was Preston. Right?
No.
Side
Milo.
puller.
No.
side.
Out the
A
base.
lot longer, yeah.
Base of your top kit, a little tube would protrude out of it.
Like the old school.
and the elastic used to go through it.
That was mad. I thought, I don't need them, you know what I mean? Just keep putting sections on. And then it was Swain who qualified for the official final. When I went and saw him on there in, I'm going to say like 2009 or something like that. He's like getting his babbling dead quick. I'm like, wow, that's amazing. Let's have a go. And I'm like, oh, this is amazing. So I went out and got a load of puller kits. And then obviously side pullers came out as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
After that.
Yeah, I
And
remember
then they
Andy
just did,
Bailey
like,
bashing me up on a side puller at Woodland View.
oh, really?
I had base ones and he had side ones. And he beat me because of that.
Just because it was a lot quicker.
So much quicker. I'm doing this elastic
Yeah,
everywhere
yeah.
and he's just done.
It's mad, yeah. That's a proper one, I think. That's really.
That's massive,
helped.
innit?
Yeah,
Elastic and pullers.
Yeah.
are
Definitely.
huge, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like proper huge.
Yeah. Apart from the York, it's anything between you and the fish, isn't it? You know what I mean? So yeah,
It's
definitely.
definitely made us so much more efficient, hasn't it?
Yeah.
But,
I like that, fishing made more efficient. Go on, Jay lad.
efficiently. What about, we'll go on one more chat about methods. What's up with Shad? Gone on for a little walk. Is everything happening? We're all filming
so.
and all good.
Oh, good.
Hearing
What
wheels.
Do
way
you know what I'm
methods?
going to give the credit to? A method that now seems like the norm. Big potting ground bait down the edge. Do you know who started that?
Who?
Machin.
Was
When
it really?
he bashed
Neil?
Steve Ringer
Oh,
up at Larford on a, what was it? It must have been a adrenaline knockout or something.
it was a final, wasn't it?
Was it the final?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's elastic as well. You got
And
Ringer
that was-
on
hey,
elastic, didn't he?
Pullers come into it that day as well. Because
what it
Neil
was?
had pullers and Ringer
Steve
didn't.
Oh, he smashed him to bits, didn't he?
Both days, yeah. He
Yeah,
beat him
yeah.
on special late because he had pullers.
Yeah.
And Neil started off the ground bait trade. Ground bait
okay.
craze of big potting ground bait down the edge.
Right.
He
right.
100% did that. Someone will say they did. Neil did. Do you know what I mean? In our world that I
Yeah.
know of,
Yeah.
Neil Machin did that. And do you know what he even started?
He
Maggot
started the
short on
mould as well,
commercials.
didn't he? Weren't he the first one to do the mould?
Oh, flipping that. Neil's like
Neil's
getting proper.
like flipping heck. And he still fishes straight through, doesn't he?
Yeah, he did create the first method mold.
He did. The blue plastic one, wasn't it?
For the
Garbellino.
Marcella Garbellino lads, wasn't
That's
it? They all
it.
had little sneaky ones.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, Neil
And
did
then
that
the
as well.
first time I'd ever seen it when the mould wasn't working was you putting a plastic bag. I've never seen that before, the when you did it.
My mate Alan starts that. Alan Jewett showed
Was
me
it?
putting a plastic bag on.
That's really
Did you
clever.
just forget to take it out in the packaging it came in?
No, he's good at doing things, Al. Yeah, Al's first one
Clever
ever
that.
that
Was
put me
I
onto
like
a plastic
that.
bag.
I still do that now when I don't get my pellets right. I'm in ground bait.
Makes
Right,
it quick,
innit?
doesn't it? Yeah.
It's brilliant, mate.
Fast. I like a plastic bag method feeder.
Yeah, so there's quite a few there, isn't there, actually?
There's been loads, haven't there? Do you reckon there'll be another big one ever?
We say
Hard
this,
to
don't
think
we?
of.
What's
innit?
been like the most recent big one?
Big what? Method or product?
Just change. Mugging wagglers, maybe? Refining them.
Pellet wagglers have evolved to a lot more refined, sexy things, maybe.
I'm going to say elastics, hybrid elastics. I think that's
Yeah,
massive.
Probably the biggest.
One pulling away you go, innit?
Our catties are a joke, but they're a little weird product. No, a big fishing thing though, I don't know.
Or where's gonna have a change?
Understanding flavours and additives
Ooh.
and all that.
I like the liquid element of flavours. Like just not feeding solid food items. I think there's some, I don't know what it's gonna be,
Yeah.
but like goos or like
I like
some-
drinking ours. That salted caramel's just like off the scale, mate. It's so nice, though. Bloody hell.
Bit too sweet.
Oh,
But
yeah,
yeah,
ice cream.
that's the way fishing needs to evolve next,
What you
doesn't it?
reckon flavourings and additives?
Understanding what fish need.
Betaine.
Yeah, salts
That kind
and
of
all
just that same
stuff.
story.
Himalayan
where
rock
you
salt. Go on, Jay lad, innit?
Some
Oh yeah,
Have you actually?
Himalayan pink rock salt.
Himalayan pink rock salt in my van.
Ollie's going to shout at you when he sees you. Like, what are you using that for your fishes? It should be on a steak. That's literally, I use it on
That's
that
what he
cooked
has.
up- Yeah, mate.
Just posh
He
stuff.
swears by it, yeah. But all these like YouTubers, famous YouTubers, that's all they use.
Are they?
Himalayan rock salt.
Himalayan rock salt.
On the
stuff.
Wagyu
Proper stuff.
steaks
On the
and-
Wagyu steaks, mate.
Still haven't got one.
Yeah,
Need to
definitely.
order them.
Yeah, you're into that, aren't you? Know?
What?
Proper into that, the salt and everything like that, aren't you?
I'm not into it, but it needs to be.
I'm going to get
But-
everyone on the tuna.
He's got COVID,
Go on,
hasn't he?
Raven.
Hey, he's got COVID.
Flipping
You like
heck,
that?
Jay, lad.
Oh, a genius! Right.
I won't say it's a raven.
What's it say? It's a what's a crow? A corvid family.
Yeah, that's it.
Corvid.
Corvids, isn't it? Corvid with COVID.
That's like
That's
northern
quick
COVID,
wit
isn't
for
it?
you.
Corvid.
Yeah.
I've got Corvid, lad.
Like COVID from Sheffield.
I got COVID yesterday.
Yeah.
All right.
Isn't it?
Alan,
can't
Alan
wait.
was
Alan!
Corvid.
I was about to say I'm going to start using tuna because that's what the carpers do, but I'm not going to.
You'd eat it.
The oils. I would eat it. I love tuna.
But that's just an oil thing, isn't
Tuna
it?
and sweet
It's a-
corn.
Oh, mate, with a bit of mayo. Nom, 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 nom. Stop
Right,
it.
I think we've come to a
Yes.
conclusion now.
Go on.
What, you've not invented anything?
No.
Well,
I've told people not to feed. That's what I've done.
Yes.
I've
Yeah.
massively affected the bait industry by telling them to feed 3 pellets everywhere they go.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
created an
definitely.
anorexic carp.
No. Do you know where the biggest thing in fishing's gone? In
I'm
fact,
vibing with that. Go on.
information that's available.
Oh,
That
yeah. Social
us
media.
and lots of other have done. That's the biggest improvement in fishing.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It is, isn't it? I didn't
Especially
even
the
think
likes
of
of
that.
us putting these things out, you know what I mean? And
Everyone.
sharing it.
The top anglers now genuinely giving massive amounts of information for all to watch, and it ain't no bullshit
It's
either.
genuine, isn't it? Yeah. It is.
Unreal, isn't it?
We never had it, would we?
No, that's why these young kids get so good now.
You'd be a millionaire if you had this back then, wouldn't you?
Dickhead one, wrong sport.
You know what I mean?
But
Like, literally.
What would you have
Good
done?
man. Bleep it
what
up.
would I have
We're
done?
dying.
I'd be dead.
No.
I wouldn't have made it past my 20s.
You'd be
if
off
I-
No,
Watches, mate,
what
wouldn't
other
you?
sport, not fishing?
don't know.
Golf.
Don't know, I dabble with that.
I'd have thrown javelins or something like that.
Yeah,
I'd
you're
have been a
good at
thrower.
chucking.
I
You
like
would have,
throwing.
wouldn't
I
you?
don't feel there's a lot of money in javelin throwing.
No, I can't
No,
see
it's
that
not.
being a... Darts, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I like
Throwing.
darts. I
That's
love
just mini
darts.
javelins, isn't it?
Mini javelin, innit?
Yeah, I do love darts.
Yeah, who knows?
Chess.
Shut up, you do.
You the such and such chess champion in that?
1989 chess champion, right here, Jay, lad.
Yeah.
Come on, I've got a trophy and everything.
Queen's Gambit was literally filmed on your life.
I love Queen's Gambit. No female
What it?
involved.
Right, squad, let's have some fishing now.
Gone well off topic.
Enough waffling. Sorry to interrupt again, you lot, while you're watching some wonderful videos, but I want to tell you quickly about what we are doing at the minute within the Winning Ways camp, because as we mentioned at the start of the year, it is about taking things to the next level, and this month has definitely been the most overwhelming month that we have ever managed to stick so much content on. It is simply, it's unwatchable as that much. I barely have time to fit it all in. So if you haven't had a look at what's going on, we've got live matches going on left, right and centre from both myself and some very, very, very special guests. We've got Mr. Bennett fishing a live match, we've got Matty Dawes chucking a live match in, and we've got Daiwa's latest recruit, Mr. Adam Richards, fishing a live match. So together with that, we've got the instructional stuff that we are always trying to bring to you, in that with Christian Jones fishing for shallow fishing, which there's probably no better. And this month we've also got Mr. Des Ship and soon to come, Mr. Andy Bennett, who are fishing worms and casters at Woodland View, and Mr. Bennett is fishing his mudline tactics that he's took, again, just as we have with our content, to a whole new level. So if you haven't had a look, have a look at the Winning Ways channel. What is available? I'm sure there is something for us all to learn.